Hello, welcome to the CRL Show. I'm Paul Arandale.
I'm Geoff Stevenson.
Yeah, another big episode. Coming up, we'll take a deep dive into the Clayton Cup. We believe we have a winner.
Yeah, provisionally.
Provisionally, yeah. We'll also preview another comp kicking off very soon. You thought Country Rugby League was just the winter months. Nope. Also, we'll have a look at some of the semi-finals in a little bit more in depth. Big hits of the week, tries of the week, and much more on the CRL Show. Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's finals footy. Spring's in the air. Well, it is September, of course. Geoff, did you get out and see anything on the weekend?
Yeah, I got down to Illawarra to catch the double header down that way. It's fantastic. I mean, there's, some expected results when it comes to West, but Dapto are really just humming along there, and they're looking like probably it looked unlikely at the start of the season they could be pushing for a premiership. Maybe making it this far in the finals would have been great for them, but geez, they knocked over De La Salle.
Yeah,
they looked really, really in control. So yeah, it was a great, I guess, semi-final day down there.
Yeah, it was, and again, fine weather. It's like finals are hit, and we're like, all the rain is gone.
Yeah.
Well done to all the winners. We'll get through the results. We'll get through the results now, actually, and we'll have a few little in-depth ones we'll have a look at. Where are we? First up was Group 7. It was round 18, the final round down there. There was 3 teams that had a chance of winning the minor premiership.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was going to be the Stingrays-Kiama game which decided it.
Yeah.
Poor old Jack Clifton, our commentator down there, we had him on Jamboree v Shell Harbour, and then he's like, no, I want to go do that one because that's the
big one.
As it was the Jamboree game that decided the minor premiership, so he stayed put, he would have got it. But with that, Shell Harbour Sharks wrapping up the minor premiership with a 48-4 win over Jamboree. The other game, Stingrays got hammered by Kiama 44-6.
Yeah.
We saw Stingrays at one stage leading the premiership, and now in an elimination semi next week against Gerringong.
Yeah, it's wild finish down that way, and it's going to make the semis very interesting next week after some teams recovering from a flogging, going into semi-finals. It's very tricky.
Yep, other results, Albion Park finished the season with a strong win, 46-12 over Berry, and as I said, Gerringong 46-6 over Nowra. Milton Ulladulla enjoyed the bye. So some teams can think about next year.
Yeah. Now going to Newcastle week 1, they're sort of some of these games you're never quite sure how it was going to end up. The Cessnock Wyong one, I really didn't know. I could not pick which team was going to be dominant and win, but Cessnock comfortable, 26-12 against Wyong. And in the other game, this was almost going to be a rematch of last year, an all Central Coast semi-final next week, but not to be. The Rosellas defeated the entrants 16 points to 14.
Yeah, I mean, Wyong lost Alex Langridge, their hooker. He was a big loss in the second half there. Yeah. But, I thought, geez, the Newcastle Rugby League promoters, if they have such a thing, they got Cessnock and Maitland for the major. They might have been thinking, gee, it would be good to have a Central Coast derby, but Western Suburbs, they upset there and they had a good win. We caught up with some winning coaches and players from both games. Here's the interviews with those guys now. Man of the match, Will Smith. It was a tough game out there today.
Yeah, mate, obviously there was a bit of the heat there, and whoever could hold the ball in that first half, we made it a bit harder on ourselves with our finished the sets, but we stayed in there. Didn't matter if they took the lead again. We just got back into the grind and played through our processes.
That last moment, the 2-point field goal, were you expecting that?
Yeah, we heard them going for it, and I think it was just whether he connected or he didn't. There's nothing really you could do.
Wyong next week, that's another tough one.
Yeah, definitely. It's a different ball game now. We're in the final, so everyone plays differently, and it's just who wants it more.
How's the body holding up?
Yeah, no, we're getting there, so body just needs to take it back seat and just get through it now.
Awesome, mate. All the best next week.
Thank you.
Rick Stone, satisfying win?
Oh, in the end, absolutely. Anytime you win a semi-final, it's always satisfying, particularly elimination semi, because there's no tomorrow. But, yeah, a bit frustrating at times. I thought early parts of the second half, I thought we were getting well on top, but we morphed in and out of concentration a little bit. And to entrance credit, they kept coming the whole day.
Yeah, a lot of twists and turns. Did you think at some stage, oh, we're not going to get this?
Well, I was always confident if we could get back into a bit of a groove, because there was a period there after entrance scored a couple of tries, we lost some momentum and we struggled getting out of our own half. But and obviously with Pello at the back, he's such a dangerous player and he can turn anything into a bit of a try. The dummy halves for them, both TJ and Birchie, were really good for the entrance as well. So, mate, it was a tough old game. Yeah, we probably didn't play our best, particularly in the first half, but to get through and go the next week is really pleasing.
Few sore bodies, but you got Wyong next. How do you think you'll go?
Oh, yeah, look, we'll worry about this one first. You know, we need to get over this one. We've had a hard couple of weeks where we've played 4 games in 2 weeks, so we probably were a little bit flat today in hindsight. We get a full week's sort of recovery and we'll get ourselves ready to play Wyong next Sunday. So, tough game, always big physical team, and they'll be good on their own track, so looking forward to that.
Sam Athorpe, 150 not out. How was that?
Oh, couldn't ask for much better. It was a good turnout from the crowd and the boys really dug in, and yeah, it was good for the town. So
you didn't get a try, but you put on a big hit there on the first half. That must have felt good.
Had to do something. Don't score many tries, only one a season, just get off the nudie, so that's the main thing.
No, mate, you did well today. Maitland next week. Are you looking forward to that one?
We've been waiting a couple of years to have a crack at them in the semi-finals, so yeah, we're coming. So yeah.
Awesome, mate. Go rest up and enjoy the night.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
All right, winning coach, Harry Slaker. Mate, how good was that one?
Yeah, really good win, mate. Overall, a really good day for the club. We had Semi Apthorpe celebrating his 150th game for the club, which that home semi, he introduced his first baby into the world as well, so he's had a massive week. But there was a lot of emotion around it on the Friday night at training. We sort of got a couple of old boys in to speak about it, and mate, it was... myself, I sort of teared up a little bit giving him his jersey. It was a really proud moment for me as a coach, but the day in itself, like I said, you couldn't write the script any better. It was perfect.
Maitland next week, you got a few injured troops too. Any news that any of those boys are going to be back next week?
No, so Muzz could have played today. I just sort of thought with 2 bites at it, I didn't want to risk him and risk doing something. So he'll be back next week. And Eddie's good, mate. He's been knocking through his rehab and probably has been ready to go for the last 2 weeks. Other than them, mate, we're at full strength. Toughest thing about that is trying to fit them into a 17-man jersey. So there's a couple of really good players that are going to miss out. But in saying that, it's just a different scenario to what we've been in the last 3 years. We've sort of been scraping by at the end of the year, trying to get a team together. Whereas this year we're fully healthy, and I think that's starting to show in our results back end of the year. It's been probably the best since I've been here as a coach. So yeah.
Awesome, mate. Maitland next week. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's like anything. If you want to be the best, you've got to take out the best, and they've obviously been doing that for the last 4 years. So I think anyone that plays footy, like I said, those sort of games, they're the ones you want to play for, and going to their home ground as well, we're right up for that one. So yeah, we're really excited for that.
Awesome, mate. All the best for the major semi next week.
Appreciate it, boys. Thank you. Thanks, BarTV, and for all the work you do throughout the year. It's amazing.
Thanks to all the coaches, Rick Stone and Harry Saker, and the players for taking the time out for those quick little chats. It's always good to catch up.
Yeah. And it must be hard for them. They've got to look ahead now. It's a big week of training and preparation for those teams that are still in the mix. Yeah, like what do you do?
Yeah,
it's a tricky one when Wyong have carried some pretty good form right up to this point, and they'd be a bit dejected after going down to the Goannas.
Yeah. All right, we'll see how they fare next week against West. Group 9, Week 1 semi-finals down there. Temora 28-16 ended Tumit's season. Then on Sunday, Gundagai had a big win over Young, 42-18.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Great results there. So pity for Tumut. They've had a really good run this season, but it'll make it very interesting. I've already seen a little bit, and we'll look into this and maybe around the groups. I think Gundagai have already got flags and jerseys and stuff out on the streets. I'd love to see more of that if people want to send stuff in. But there's a bit of getting behind the town going on with some of these towns that are still in the fight.
Yeah, no, I love the bush footy when the towns get behind their teams. It's great. It's awesome. Western Premiership, it was week 3, the prelim finals. Forbes ended Mudgee's days with a 34-10 win, and then it was the battle at the Sims. Dubbo Sims getting the win over Orange Sims 24-0.
Yeah, I don't know whether they prayed in the right way or not, but the two Christian teams there, Dubbo were comfortable against Orange, and it makes for... Forbes have really been one of those teams that have hummed along all year as well, with not a lot... Well, decent amount of attention, you know. They've been playing well week to week, but they're looking really good.
It was Gold Coast week one of the finals up there. Runaway Bay 28-22 over Helensvale, and Currumbin 32-20 over Tugan.
Yeah, again, some close results in that regard, but great footy for week one.
I think it's the first time in a while Currumbin's beat Tugan. I might be wrong there, but those two met in last year's grand final, and the Seahawks had the wood over the Eagles there a bit. And
it seemed like Helensvale that, a couple of years ago, we're probably struggling to put one win together there. It's been a great year for them.
Yeah, Ipswich week one was at Ipswich Jets 38-24 over Redbank Plains, and Brothers 28-22 over Fassifern. Sorry, Geoff, I just took your...
No, I just would take it 2-0. And up there, NRRL week one, Balamble were comfortable against Casino. They're sort of finding their form again. 46 points to 12 at the right end of the season. And Moolumbar, I consider this probably one of the bigger upsets of the round, maybe. Like Ballina were looking pretty good.
Yeah.
28 points to 12, they defeated Ballina.
Yes, it's the end for the Seagulls. All right, Illawarra week two semi-finals. You mentioned, Geoff, you were down at Collies for the double header. Dapto 44-10 over De La Salle, and West 32-0 over Collies. Got a few highlights here for you. Johnny Pett's the commentator.
Rodriguez goes high. Hurst is chasing this one. Mafu leaps high, gets it. Flicks the ball out the back. Pasco's got the line inside. The big fella slides over for a 4-pointer. The Devils, they'll post points first here. Gets up with a quick play the ball. Dixon jumps out. Gets past one. Spinning. Stretches out. Puts the ball down. I think Taylor Cleveland's going to point to the spot. Dixon back to the left to Chisholm. Chisholm goes to Mafu. Mafu dummies and goes himself. The young back rower bags a 4-pointer himself. Chisholm sees a gap, goes himself, finds fresh air. Pello into open space, stays inside, flicks it to Monga. What a try from the Devils. I think that might put them through to the GF in a few weeks. Down centre of the field, 20 out. Onto the right-hand side, the Devils. Long ball there to Pello. Pello with the space in front of him. Try line inside, he gets a 4-pointer. That will be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, hopefully that come across the if you're driving and listening. You got a good feel of that game.
Great commentary, and West, like they've sort of been thereabouts all year, but I wouldn't say consistent. And they've given Collies a real run for their money there in Florida.
Yeah, Collies, is that 2 losses in a month now or something?
Yeah. And like we say, we've said the past few weeks, it's about momentum this time of year, and it doesn't really matter. We've had those teams that were in the mix for Clayton's Cup, and then the back end of the season have lost 3 or 4. Balamble, on the other hand, in NRRL, they had a real flat period during the middle of the season, and now they've come back in the semi. So it's all about timing when this time of year. Heading down to Ron Massey, week 2. Wentworthville defeated Mounties 32 points to 18. Semi-final result here, St Mary's 52-16 against Wright Eastwood. They're looking good.
Yeah, certainly are. It was a knock-on effect cup, the final round. The Warriors defeated Newcastle Knights 20-12. Canberra 34-8 over Penrith. We all heard about Penrith resting a lot of their first graders. Now they've missed out on a semi-final berth in the New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Anyway. Canterbury 46-10 over the Dragons. Norths 54-6 over Para. Manly 42-30 over Newtown. And the Roosters 50-18 over Wests.
Yeah, unbelievable. Now, Harvey Norman Premiership, we'll go down to round 9, and the Mounties were comfortable against West Tigers, 30 points to 10. Newcastle 28-16 against Cronulla. Central Coast 30 points to 16 against Wentworthville. Souths in a close one against Illawarra, 18-14. Penrith defeated St George 24-18. That's looking like getting close to a business end of the season for the Harvey Norman Premiership as well.
Yeah. interesting results. And finally, round 26 of the Jersey flag, Silktails finished the season off with a draw against Souths, 22-all. The Warriors 28-20 over Newcastle. Canberra again, 40-18 over Penrith. Parramatta 52-22 over Melbourne. Canterbury 38-22 over the Dragons. Cronulla 50-24 over Manly. West Tigers 36-30 over the Roosters. A lot of high scoring.
Yeah, and you look at firsts. I think that is the first time the Silktails have drawn. So there's another first right at the back end of the season. It's a bit of an ambiguous sort of like not that exciting kind of result. You're not going to, first draw, but it's a first. I don't think they've drawn. They've won a handful of games this year, and it's probably an apt finish to the season for them because it's a better season than they've had last year. Not a bad result there over in Fiji.
Yeah. All right, a few other results from comps not covered on BarTV. Well, next week we'll be doing the Group 4 Grand Finals.
Looking at Gunnedah. Gunnedah, another town that is getting behind their team. I saw some really... I think people are putting... I saw a picture and I thought, this is a great idea. They're putting jerseys on letterboxes. So you're sort of driving along, you just see like a jersey every couple of houses, which is fantastic, like wrapping it around it like it's a body kind of thing. So Gunnedah defeated Werris Creek and finished their season in the preliminary final 44 points to 26.
Yes, along with Moree Boars next Sunday. The Group 4 Grand Final.
And on BarTV. How good is that? That is fantastic. It'll be great Sunday viewing.
Yeah, the Group 21 prelim final. Greater Branxton getting a little bit of revenge for last year's grand final, I think it was, 32-20 over Scone. I think it's the first time Scone's missed out in a grand final in about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, so remarkable. They were in real contention for the Clayton's Cup the past few years. So, they're out. Group 16, Merimbula-Pambula, they bounced back and defeated Eden 42 points to 10 in the preliminary finals. That was a great result for the Dogs. There's lots going down. I like their home ground name, The Pound. There's a lot happening down at The Pound this week as they get ready for a grand final.
Woodbridge Cup grand final was last week over on Tigers 34-8 over the Mildra Rhinos. Where are we? Group 19 grand final. Inverell. What have I done there? Well, Inverell won, I know that, but I haven't put the results.
I definitely know that. They defeated Tinga, and they were very happy up that way. I actually bought a grand final T-shirt knowing it wouldn't arrive to me till after the grand final. It's really hard to know what to do with that grand final T-shirts because you think, then if they win the comp and they make a premiership one, do you buy that as well? Anyway, but there's lots of... yipping and yahooing up Inverell way.
Is anything like my father? He pulls out the Knights 2001 T-shirt.
Yeah,
that's always good to mow the lawn in.
Yeah. I was going to say, and then a lot of people in that era have both. You had the grand final one and the premiership one because you thought you buy the grand final one, you can't then not buy the premiership one. So
I think I left mine somewhere in a hostel in Holland or something.
I know, they're probably trendy very soon and they'll be a collector's item. Or in Holland. They'll be like big in Holland.
Yeah.
Castlereagh League Grand Final. Now, here's the big one. The Coolah Roos defeated Coonabarabran 24 points to 18 to remain undefeated and the provisional winners of the Clayton's Cup.
Yeah.
Fantastic news. We say provisional because, we really need to wait for the New South Wales Rugby League to make an announcement on it.
Yeah.
Previous years, there's been 2 teams that have been undefeated. This year, it's really just Coolah. So, I'm pretty confident it'd take a lot for the New South Wales Rugby League to say no at the moment.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, if it happens at the end of the month, well, now we've just got to wait to the next month to tick it off, I guess. I don't know how.
I'm guessing. I guess they just need to go around and make sure it's all kosher. I don't know. Like previous years has been complicated because there's 2 teams that are undefeated. You've got to look at how many games they played and all that kind of detail. But to make it less complicated, Merimbula-Pambula lost last week.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. But I'm sure like I said, these teams that almost win the Clayton's Cup have had exceptional seasons, and you've got to sort of not forget that.
Yeah.
Port Sharks is one of them.
We'll get into the Clayton Cup shortly.
Good,
We've got one more camera to wrap up.
We've got a sort of chitty chat.
Yeah, we'll get into the Clayton Cup chat shortly. Sorry, mate.
No. I'm like...
So it was Canberra Week 1 finals, and Tuggeranong kept their winning run going with a 30-24 win over West Belconnen, and then it was the Battle of Queanbeyan, which many would have thought the Roos would have got up and won, but the Blues turned it on with a 28-16 win over their bitter rivals, their neighbours. Here's James Sully Sullivan on the mic calling this one.
Now they come down this right edge. McLaughlin, Cody, he's got Hickey outside, and that's what we were talking about. Williams on the right. Oh, Connor Williams off and gone. I don't need to say no more, just let's watch. McLaughlin puts boot to ball, flying through. I'll have two. Connor Williams. Pagura goes in the dummy half. Williams looks. Cooper just strolls in the hole. Cody again. Napolewski with the tackle. Williams, the kick. Chasing. Drury Lowe tips it back for Jesse Dent. And Jesse Dent scores. Anderson, last tackle options. What's he going to do? Puts the kick through for Williams. Oh, Williams says thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, Jacko.
They lead by 14 with 19 to go. McLaughlin to Williams. Williams drifts across the field, links up with Cody. Quick hands to Morsu. Morsu gets on the outside of Lurie. Morsu's still going, and he goes into the sky and scores. Williams. Quinlan, a nice little moment here for Quinlan. Short pass to Ayres. Ayres gets over the line, so the Kangaroos do score.
Yeah, again, great game. Sully called both of me. He done an exceptional job as usual. Yeah, all right. Speaking of exceptional, if I can get the words out here, our tries of the week. First up, we've got the Fig Tree Crushers, third grade of the Illawarra competition down there. Sets of hands that goes through here.
He's huge.
Yeah, Barry John Mather, the old centre for the Perth Reds, and that flick inside, the reverse Gidley flick you call it. Yeah. It's always good to see a grey-headed player scoring a try.
Yeah.
Troy Evans, Ningan Tigers. I like this one because it's almost in slow motion.
Yeah.
A good run, that lovely offload from the front row, then the dummy, fooled, and over he goes.
I don't know if you noticed, the numbers are hard to read on the back.
Very hard to read. Good luck, commentator. Ruben Mayers, Thrill Butchers reserve grade. This had a little bit of everything here. Down the sideline, looks like he's going to be held up there, just the underarm flick. Then the cross kick and hope, like a banana kick. Fullback's got it covered. No, the soccer posts. Yes, the soccer posts play a part in the try.
I can't believe that, had they did standard posts, he might not have been scoring.
Wilson Hamblin, Gundagai Tigers.
Here's a splitting run there from Derek Hay. Gets an offload away with a kick on the toe. Wilson Hamblin tries to chase the footy down, and the ball is still live. And Wilson Hamblin!
And finally, Jesse Dent of the Queanbeyan Roos, first grade.
Williams, the kick, chasing. Drury Lowe tips it back for Jesse Dent, and Jesse Dent scores. Clever work there, Drury Lowe.
Interesting there, the bloke who batted that last one back for the Queanbeyan Roos, Drury Lowe.
Oh, yeah.
Canberra Raiders player.
I heard the name and just went, I know that guy. Yeah. Some of these people, you wonder how old they are, but they might have... Their NRL careers, Drury Lowe might have stopped playing professional footy at the age of late 20s or something. So it makes a lot of sense. Some great, I got to shout out, when you look at those tries, great refereeing, because there's a lot of ones that were near sidelines and kicks and checking people on side and stuff. So shout out to the referees who are working really hard at the moment with all the more pressure of a semi-final game or a finals game. So, there was some great plays there from the refs.
I reckon that's we've had plenty of balls that hit the posts and been tries, but I reckon that's our first one where soccer posts have been involved.
Yeah, and I hadn't thought, they talk about some kickers aiming for things, but I hadn't thought you could aim for those big square, kind of pretty looking like soccer quarter posts there that they put in, because there's quite there's a lot of metal there. So maybe that's going to be a thing. I don't know where else. There's not a lot of other places except high schools often that have those things. But that was remarkable.
Yep. So if you've seen better tries of the week, let us know. We'd love to share them on our social media pages, and hopefully we can share them midweek.
Yeah, beauty.
All right. As I say, I sort of should have mentioned this a little bit earlier. If you download the BarTV Sports app, where you can not only watch all these games if you subscribe, you can also now vote on your player of the match. Simply by you watching the game, you have the team list, you can scroll down a bit and you just hit the star, and that selects your man of the match. And you can chop and change it. You've got about, I think, until the last 2 minute of until full times hit. So a lot of people are getting involved, and it's interesting to see some of the results. I think I'm 2 from 2 from this weekend. The people that I've got on and selected, and the fans or the supporters have agreed. So I don't know, maybe we're drinking from the same Kool-Aid, who knows, but we've got it right. So.
I often listen to the commentators, so maybe I was listening to you and voting. I didn't notice you can change it over time. I feel like a voice, or one of those sort of like judges on one of those shows. Like, no, I like him now. He's playing better. Oh no, she just scored a great try. You're kicked out, that kind of stuff. So no, it's really good.
Yeah. All right, mate. We'll move along. We'll get into big hits. Big hits of the week. What am I talking about? Around the groups. A little bit around the groups, but the big news, like I said, I could bark on forever. The Clayton's Cup provisional winners are the Coolah Roos. Something of note, in the last 3 seasons, this is the second time the Castlereagh League has claimed the Clayton's Cup. Yeah.
With Gulgong Bull Terriers winning a couple of years ago, 2023. It got me actually looking at, I get a little bit obsessed with population size and stuff. So Coolah, just checking Wikipedia, has 1,300 residents, so it's a pretty small town. And I was looking back thinking, probably is the smallest town that's held the Clayton's Cup for quite a long time. We're going back a long time with the Clayton's Cup, so there'll be smaller towns in the past. But Gulgong has 2,600 people in it, and they were a couple of years ago. And Camden, they kind of feel like a bit of an outer suburb, but there's like 3,300 people there. I'll ask you, I thought we could incorporate a bit of a quiz into Round the Groups, because what I find interesting with Clayton's Cup, it's a great leveller, but it's almost like some of these group comps, they may have an advantage. I don't know how we could tease out why that they have that advantage, but can you, I've got to look at my notes without you looking.
I need my glasses on to see your notes anyway.
Good, okay, I'll leave it there. Considering Newcastle, Illawarra and Canberra, I'd say are probably 3 of the strongest comps. It's all subjective and stuff like that. But we're looking at they've got leagues, clubs are quite big, that kind of stuff. When would you say, and I'll give you 2 years either way, was the last time a team from Newcastle, Illawarra or Canberra won the Clayton's Cup?
Well, I know Western Suburbs Rosella's won it in 1992.
Oh, he's got it.
I couldn't tell you the last time the Blues or the... or anyone from... Because I would say Queanbeyan Blues would have gone close a few times.
Yep.
And maybe the Devils at Illawarra, but that's about
okay. Well, I'll give you some... I'll give you my answer. For anyone that else is listening, you can pause now and do the quiz yourself in your own head. 1977, Belconnen United won it.
Okay, so that's the original... Because there's... The Belconnen United today is a different Belconnen United to the original one.
I saw that because there's a lot of clubs that I looked at as you're going down the list and realised some don't exist, or some have different names, and you're like, oh, is it just a name change or is it a new club? Maitland won in 56, and Port Kembla won in 46.
There you go.
So when you look at the bigger comps, I don't want to, people can write and say the NRL's bigger.
That was the last time an Illawarra club won the Clayton Cup. Wow.
Yeah. So it really, like I said, I don't know if it's just advantageous for smaller groups where one team is just exceptional, and maybe, these other comps, there's a bit of closeness in the comp, so you're not going to have a team play the whole season close to undefeated. But anyway, that was our little quiz there. It surprised me, but that's what I like about the Clayton's Cup, that it goes up to Group 3 and it'll go out to Castlereagh and then it'll be out to the Macarthur Premiership, and it'll dance around everywhere based on the quality of the teams in the comp.
Yeah, and it's hard for really clubs to stack a team, then they all move, it's like, I mean, probably arguably Maitland's been the benchmark since COVID, really. They've got close a couple of times that they've always dropped 1 or 2 games in the season. But that's the luck, isn't it? That's the beauty of the Clayton Cup.
Yeah, I think it highlights how hard it is to get to win, and that was sort of the point I wanted to make. They're good on Coolah. They went close a few times, and you look at that grand final result, it was a 6-point win. So in the end... It was, like we said, heading the show, rugby league is not just wrapping up in some comps. There's comps starting up come September. What was called the Midwest Cup.
Yeah.
They're calling it the Spring Comp. I think it might be called both, like the Midwest Cup or the Spring Comp. But a few years ago, some teams moved away and moved from the Midwest Cup to the Woolbridge Cup. And to their credit, the Midwest Cup teams have reinvented themselves a bit, and they've decided to play a spring competition.
Yeah.
It's essentially 3 rounds and finals, so it's not like a massive comp.
Yeah.
And I was only thinking through the week, some competitions that may be struggling for numbers, maybe this is the solution, where you play outside of the league season and, to be honest, outside of the rugby union season.
Yeah.
So, as much as we kind of pretend they're two separate entities, there'll be players that might want to do both.
So it'd be a bit like what the Big Bash does all around the world. They have a certain window. That's where they play in that region, and then they can move on.
Yeah. And I think a team really, like the Outback League couldn't get a comp together this year. So, I don't know how rugby union's out there, but maybe they could say, we're going to do a spring comp, and you might just get a trickle in of a few rugby players that'll be willing to play league as well, and you get a comp running. So, anyway, there are 3 rounds starting September 20th at Portland, 27th of September at Blackheath, and 11th of October at Wallerawang, which is, might as well put it out there now, it's their Old Boys Day for not just Wallerawang, but also Portland. They're having their Old Boys Day the last round there. So
Jeez, I hope Portland's nickname's the Trailblazers.
Oh, yes.
That'd be awesome.
They should change it.
Yeah.
They're the Colts.
Oh,
Another Colt.
another Colt.
Speaking of, I've got a stallion on me today. Thank you very much to the Coomera United Stallions for delivering my jumper. It's fantastic. Lovely and warm. But yeah, the teams are this year the Kandos Waratahs, Portland Colts, the Wallerawang Warriors, I knew I'd get that wrong, and the Blackheath Black Cats.
Yeah, nice.
So, simple, condensed comp. I think it's like a lot of, like Pro 10, they all played on it's one ground, 2, like double headers, basically, those 3 weekends, and then I think it's just a final. But for those who are sort of around the traps, and actually some of those times, they get so close to things like the Bathurst 1000, I'm like, they need to cross-promote that and, play the final round at Bathurst and, on the Saturday night or something.
On the paddock.
Yeah, just get some people are in town, town swells by thousands. If you said to them, look, there's a game of footy on the Saturday night, I reckon some
play it while Bathurst is happening. And
yes, that's right. Yeah. Whack it in the middle of the ground.
Coming down Conrod Street and you're kicking for touch.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Ball through the window.
Or just tell people, don't go to the race, come watch our footy.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are, what race? I'll go watch the footy. The women's comp is running again this year. Unfortunately, they're sort of down a few teams, and there's a few teams that aren't playing this year. Carcoar Crows are one of them, unfortunately. They're one of the dominant teams. They've won 13 Midwest Cups over the years. They're not playing this year. And Rockley and Woodstock are also out. The Kandos women's team, though, women's team sometimes do a twist on their men's name. Yeah. Having said that, the back to the Coolah Roos, the women's team called the Flyers, which I kind of think is cool, and they won the comp as well. So, what I love is the Kandos Waratahs are called. I got to get this right. The Kandos Tiaratahs.
Tiaratahs,
which I'm not sure about, but I'm like, kudos to them for having a crack. I think it's Bombala Blue Heelers. I kind of call the high heelers.
Yes,
But the Tiaratahs is up there with one of my favourites at the moment. Last year, the Rockley Bulls played Blackheath in the women's league tag. It's not tackle. It was 6 all at half time, 10 all at full time, and 10 all at extra time. And they actually just agreed to put both their names on joint winners, which it's very rare in rugby league where they just went, you know what?
We got to go to work. We
can't separate them. We're not going to play again. Let's just put both names on there. So Rockley Bulls and Blackheath are on the winners of last year. We'll see who wins this year in the women's tag as well. But that's the Midwest Cup. I'm looking forward to it. My quiz question though.
You're right. Another quiz question.
Relates to Portland.
Okay.
Relates to Portland. Lovely little town. It's just kind of some jam between, I guess, Kandos and heading up towards Lithgow. Yeah. What rugby league person of note played for the Portland Colts while doing an electrician's apprenticeship at the Lithgow power station?
Oh, Keith Beecham.
No, I want to say rugby league player. Rugby league. I'm trying to find the right word. Rugby league kind of person of note. I can't think of another word for it. No, not Keith Beecham.
Right, he was the first. I don't know why.
Higher profile.
Yeah, right.
High profile person.
High profile.
Well, these people.
Things
that you can pause it now if you want to have a guess and think about it. But
John Cartwright.
No. It was. In the end, you go.
I don't know why John Cartwright made us giggle then, but anyway.
No, I do know, but we're not going to talk about that incident. Craig Bellamy.
He got around.
Yeah. So, but that's where he grew up.
Yeah.
He was a Portland young fella.
Yeah, righto. Yeah. I knew he played with the Scorps.
Yeah.
Back in the early 80s, and he captain coached Turvey Park.
Yep. So this was back when he was like 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
He was doing an apprenticeship, playing at Portland, and I think somewhere along the line, going Canberra, kind of someone scouted him and went, "Oh, this guy's got potential." I just mention it because these Midwest Cups and stuff, you think, "Oh, look, it's just muck around spring comp and stuff like that." But if Portland weren't playing in that competition, if Craig Bellamy picked up a soccer ball that day, how different would rugby league be? How different would it be if Portland didn't have a team and he went, "I'm going to play the round ball game."
He may have saved Western United.
Yeah, exactly. Or what if he would start throwing darts? Like he becomes a champion dart player, and we miss out on Bellamy.
Yeah.
Find it interesting. Coaches really aren't. I was going to write more notes about this, but the backstories of coaches aren't really well covered, and that's what made me realise. Like with Craig Bellamy, I knew a little bit about his apprenticeship stuff, and I was like, where did he grow up to do an apprenticeship there? And I thought, you look at some of the country people that have come into coaching ranks over the years and become professional coaches, like Brad Arthur and Adam O'Brien, both Bateman's Bay. Adam O'Brien's very much a Bateman's Bay Tiger, through and through, and Brad Arthur's been around the traps and stuff. So, anyway, that was my quiz question. I'm sure some people got it out there, and they might have guessed it.
There's a good photo that pops up on social media now and then. It's Brad Arthur and Adam O'Brien with the dummy hearts. One was playing for Bateman's Bay Tigers, and apologies, I can't think of the opposition.
Yeah.
But it's O'Brien and Arthur going toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
And the front row is trying to pull them off, which is Ben Cross. So
Jesus
it's a pretty
Christ.
good photo.
I didn't think Ben Cross would be in the mix when it comes to those two bunch playing. But it's just one of those things. We talked about referees, aspiring referees in the country in the middle of the year sometime. And I think aspiring coaches need to think about it too. Yeah. Announced this a few weeks ago. The new coach of the under-19s for the Knights is from Curry, another I can't remember his name. He's moved around the traps.
Yeah.
Matt Lantry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I was going to say...
Curry.
I say Curry because Curry... Lantries, there's so many Lantries around Curry and Cessnock. It's like... They're like cockroaches, Like if anyone knows the area, I think there was one year that a cricket team had a full team of Lantries.
Yeah, okay.
Unnamed in a pub comp or something. So I thought straight away for Curry. But but Matt Lantry, he's bounced in and out of kind of professional structures and back into the country. But yeah, for any aspiring coach out there, even a young one that says, I want to do this for a career, it's there's pathways. So I know you don't like that word, but there's pathways out there where you can be a country coach and suddenly you could be an NRL coach pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my Midwest wrap up. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. There wasn't much else for me to report from around the groups. The Harrigan Shield, that Avondale Greys played the Avondale Wombats, which must be the grudge match, one town grudge match of the smallest town.
Yeah.
Because Avondale's not very big. And anyway, Avondale Greys defeated them in the Harrigan Shield, which is, I think, second grade. Then there's the Plate, that's third grade. And Fig Tree played Berkeley and eliminated Berkeley. So this week, the Wombats play Fig Tree. If the Wombats win, it'll be an all Avondale grand final.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And also...
Beauty about the Wombats is too, they played rugby union 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're the latest club to defect to rugby league from rugby union.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a massive whole club defection. Imagine if that happened in any other sphere of rugby league, it'd be massive. But and just another thing of note for looking at the top try scorers around the traps, I still think Corey Cox is probably the highest scoring rugby league player at least in the state, with 25 tries for the season. Masu Uasi for South is on 15 for the Newcastle Rugby League and Engineering Cup, but Pat A. Church is also on 15 playing for the Rosellas this weekend. So
yeah, they've it's a weird one. I don't know why they do it. I mean, the leading point scorer and all that they've already decided. Yeah. But they've still got finals footy, so like. Why don't I've always this is right up there bias for me. Why don't you include finals points towards the end of the season as part of the freaking season? I don't get it. So
I agree, because where do those tries, where are they registered if they're not counted? Like, do they not counted? You score 3 tries in a grand final, so that doesn't count because you were
you weren't.
You know, we already wrote that up. You know, you don't count. We won't count those tries. But I agree. So anyway, they decided that.
It's already done. So they're the two joint, but well, according to the records. But Pat Church has got a game this weekend against Wyong. So if he scores 10 tries in the game, he's still not going to be the lone try scorer. No, that's already decided.
That's what I was thinking. When you look at overall records too, if it's like we're talking about Corey Cox, which I mentioned a bit this year, he he scored a remarkable amount of tries, a whole bunch of them in the semi-finals, but it wouldn't be as remarkable without those.
They do it in Canberra, they do it in all the other comps too. I don't know why they don't include finals. It's an odd one.
No, I'm with you. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's what I've got for around the groups, but have you got a little bit more?
Well, yeah, we're talking about awards and stuff like that. It was New South Wales Rugby League had their presentation night thing up last night, and it really got no fanfare or promotion at all. I mean, obviously we're around rugby league a lot, Geoff, and I didn't even know it was happening. But they had the Brad Fittler medal and all that. They were all the suits and all that stuff. But just a couple of mentions. I mean, we really don't care about the stuff in Sydney, but Country Player of the Year was Jacob Koenig, plays for the Tweed Heads Seagulls, probably the most northern country rugby league club. His sister was on hand to pick up the award because, as she said, he was out on Mad Monday celebrations and couldn't make it down there.
I would have loved if he turned up anyway. Yeah. You imagine if she was like, I'll take it for you, and he comes bashing through the door, and I'm here! like dressed like the Hulk or something, I don't know. Well, that's great. But you're right. Considering, Country Rugby League doesn't get the profile, but certainly the Brad Fittler medal does. Yeah. It's a shame they didn't use, the high-profile stuff to let people know it's on, so that people get talking about the rest of the stuff, like the women's country championship player of the year and stuff like that, Tiara Anderson.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Tiana Anderson was the women's player of the year,
and that getting people focusing on it will get those sort of names put out there as well. So, it's a bit of a shame, but I was the same. It's a funny kind of time of year to be doing it as well. I don't know.
I sort of get why they do it, because at the end of the season, everyone's on Mad Monday or end-of-season trips. So it's hard to get everyone together. So I get why they have it for that particular reason, but I don't know, sort of, do we have to have awards nights and all that? I mean, it's good to give someone, but just put it in the post.
They can be announced.
Amazon Courier can deliver it,
Well, a lot of the community awards are announced like that, and I think they're recognised in various ways, but there's not an awards night. But the NRL does their sort of like Community Person of the Year and Volunteer of the Year and that kind of stuff. And they make a fuss over them via the media, which works pretty well. And then I think I think for Volunteers of the Year and stuff, they attend the NRL Grand Final, and that's where they're kind of given the whatever they're given, sort of thing. So it's a funny way to do it. But when you sent me that information, I was like, oh, okay, that's done.
Well, it caught me by surprise. Oh, did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Anyway.
But that's around the groups, isn't it?
That's it. Yep.
All right. Moving right along, we've got the big hits of the week. The finals footy's in the air, and a lot more is at stake. It seems like these big hits certainly prove that. Here are 5 of the big hits of the week. Kicking things off, Mudgee Redbacks under-20s Eli winning. He certainly was on this play. But what I like here is in the under 8, he got bumped off and then still made the tackle and got up like nothing had happened.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't really run back in the defensive line.
The next one we've got here is Louisa Yaramoa of South Sydney Rabbitohs. Again, bump, and then comes in to finish it off.
As you put a head down going, I'm about to get wrapped up here too. Okay, bam.
Kieran Riley, Central Newcastle reserve grade. Now, Central's on the attack here. Intercept. The West Wingers thinks, oh, yep. And then, oh, no. And just absolutely cleaned up.
Great touchy work there too.
Yes.
Just touchy, gets down low. He's like, not quite. Yep.
Got him.
Going to be stopped short.
Phoenix Finity, the Western Suburbs Devils, first grade, just out of the line quickly and just absolutely smothered the ball carrier. And then they ran up the other end of the field and almost scored.
Yeah, it's going on.
And finally, see Matt Thorpe, Cessnock going as 150th game and also celebrated the birth of a child midweek. And he goes out and puts that hit on.
There's a lack of sleep doing it to
give
him the energy he needed.
Yeah, they're our big hits of the week. It's funny, I got Sam, well, we had the chat with Sam earlier and before I grabbed him, he said, oh, mate, I don't talk to the media. I said, well, mate, the good thing is we're not the media.
Where's the media? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, Goody made an exception to the high-profile folk at BarTV, but it's a funny response, isn't it, when you running off the field? I don't know the media.
Yeah, no, he was good.
Good on him.
All right, so we'll get into the fixtures this weekend. It's the final round of the Harvey Norman Premiership. It starts Saturday with Souths hosting West Tigers. Penrith are at home to Newcastle. Illawarra take on Cronulla. Central Coast take on Mounties at Wee Wee. Then you got Parramatta v St George, and wrapping it up, Canterbury host Wentworthville.
Yeah, and Illawarra Premiership. If I'm not there, I'll want to be there. I'll be watching on BarTV. The Collies are hosting Dapto Saturday at 3 o'clock. It'll be a cracker of a game.
All right, you get a tip.
Oh, I'd love to see Dapto just keep the momentum, keep it rolling along. It'd be fantastic to see Canaries continuing on, but we'll see.
Yeah, either way, Collies get through. That means Collies and West will be an absolute ripper because they don't want to be nilled twice against their rivals.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's the Sunshine Coast prelim final. The winner takes on Stanley River next week. Maroochydore v Coolum, 5:30 Sunday. It's a late one, but
crackerjack. I love the late afternoon games on a Sunday, even better. Canberra preliminary final now. This is one I'll ask you about. The Roos are hosting Tuggeranong at 3 p.m. on Sunday. What do you reckon? Because you've kind of put out there that you really like that momentum Tuggeranong's been bringing, the energy they're bringing to their games.
Yeah, I mean, this will be 12 in a row if they get over Queanbeyan Kangaroos.
Wow.
Queanbeyan Kangaroos, reigning premiers the last 2 seasons. They slipped up against the Blues last week.
Yeah.
I think, so, it's a toss of the coin, this one. So, I'm just going to say the Roos just. Yeah,
it'll be a good game. I'd say Tuggeranong would have hoped to have played the Blues, but they get what they get kind of thing. Ipswich preliminary final. Redbank are hosting Brothers up that way. Another good game.
Yeah, and the Ipswich Jets are in the grand final. So I think we both tipped Redbank playing to win the Ipswich comp.
I'm starting to think about our tips as we go through these.
Where are we? Newcastle finals week 2 on Saturday. It's a blockbuster. Maitland at home to Cessnock, major semi-final. Winner goes into the grand final. And then on Sunday, Wyong v Western Suburbs, both kicking off at 3 p.m.
Yeah, crackerjack. Group 9, finals week 2. Young are hosting Temora at Saturday at 2:30, while the Kangaroos are hosting Gundagai Sunday at 2:30 as well.
Yeah, a couple of crackers there. Roos Gundagai when he goes into the grand final.
Yeah, and Young and Temora, they've both had almost similar seasons, you know, where there's been white hot at times and lost a game here and there. So I just don't know where to go with that too.
Yeah. It's I can't even remember who we tipped for that one. I think it was Wagga Kangaroos.
I know a few people picked Temora.
Actually, I think I tipped the bloody Albury Thunder. They didn't even make the 5, so I'm -1 already.
Look, you're just hoping for upsets now. No one else gets it.
Gold Coast finals week 2 up there. Tugun take on Runaway Bay. It's an elimination final, that one. And Burleigh v Currumbin, the winner of that goes into the grand final. Burleigh, undefeated season. You'd think they'd be our favourites there.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're looking very good. They have so all season. And RRL finals week 2. Coogin after a week off hosting informal Wollumbar, while Lismore are hosting Bellamble. Another good game.
Yeah, that one's on Saturday, and the Coogin-Wollumbar game's on Sunday.
Yeah, beautiful.
Group 7 finals week 1. Kaima host Albion Park on Saturday, and the elimination final, Stingrays v Gerringong on Sunday. Shell Harbour having the week off. Minor premiers.
Again, very hard to tip. Some of these games coming up against Stingrays versus Gerringong will be a cracker of a game. Central Coast week 1 of the finals. Erin are hosting Toukley on Saturday, and then on Sunday, Kincumber at home to Wyong.
Yeah, actually, the Erin v Toukley game is at Woy Woy.
Oh, good. Yep.
And Kincumber v Wyong, I think, is at Toukley.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm just trying to thinking out loud.
Are they both on BarTV?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So that's all we need to know.
Yeah. All the finals too, the reserve grade, open grade, ladies, league tag and women's tackle, all grades, Central Coast finals.
Awesome. You can either go to the game, watch it on BarTV, or do both.
Yeah. Brisbane week 1, we've got Western Suburbs taking on Wynnum, Saturday 2 p.m. Then you can flick over and watch Redcliffe take on Carina, Saturday 4 p.m.
Yeah, nice idea with the scheduling there.
It's not too bad. Just, if it was a little bit later, Mike Wilson could have jumped in the car and gone to the other one, but he had to toss the coin and which one he was going to.
I'd love to hear him arrive, though, and just arrive 10 minutes in and go, right, where are we? And just start commentating. I reckon he could do it.
Yeah.
Ron Massey Cup, 11th Premier League final come at business end of the season. Ryde Eastwood hosting Wentworthville Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Speaking of jumping the car, doing it, that's exactly what Sully did on the weekend. Now, failed to mention the Canberra highlights. If you listened to it and thought there was a different voice, Hayden Blackmore was his co-caller.
Yeah, nice.
Jumped on and called the last 15 minutes of the game because Sully had to go call the New South Wales Cup, Canberra v Penrith. That's
a great idea. That can work.
Yeah.
When they're not too far apart from each other, you can make that happen. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you get a police escort though? That's what I'd hope for.
I think he does.
So I got to call a game. Like 10 minutes away. Can you guys get in front and?
Sully's pretty big in Canberra, and I think he just gets to borrow Albanese's escorts.
Yeah, nice. A little flag on the bonnet.
Yeah,
lovely. Sydney Shield, up to Sydney Shield Premier League final, and St Mary's are playing Manly Leagues 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, both at Leichhardt Oval, the Ron Massey Cup and Sydney Shield prelims.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
A great day at Leichhardt.
Yeah. Then we move over to Net Strata. There's 4 games of rugby league there. I'll go through the Jersey Flag first, though.
Yeah.
Cronulla take on Canberra. That's at 12 o'clock. Then Penrith v Parramatta at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and then knock-on effect, New South Wales Cup. We've got Newtown up against Canberra Saturday at 2 o'clock, and the Dragons against Parramatta Saturday at 6.
Yeah, we're recording this Tuesday afternoon. The rumour is that Canberra's going to rest a few first graders like Penrith did, so it'll be interesting. It could upset the lower grades a bit. They've got both in the flag and the cup.
Well, you look at I can never know about the eligibility rules when it comes to bringing a first grade player back to a semi-final.
Well, I think for some unknown reason I had 7 in my head. They had to play 7 cup games before they could come back. But the other way, I think it's just open slather.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're resting players, if Sticky wants to rest players, he wants to rest players too. So he may not want them to go down to a lower grade. But there'll be some fringe players that may get a run. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, Group 4 Grand Finals, they're on BarTV, out at Moree on Sunday. Now, this is originally set for Saturday, but Moree's going to be a busy centre because on Saturday they've got the Rugby Union Grand Finals out there.
Oh, right, okay.
So, great thinking. New South Wales Rugby League stepped in and said, you've got to move it to Sunday because there's not enough... police in the town. Yeah. So they've spread it out that way. So
even accommodation, like you can sit the morning. The rugby union guys leave on the Sunday after, staying overnight. Yeah. Hopefully, can fill up some hotels again, and it's good for the town.
Yeah, well, they've copped a bit of a stick for it, but I totally understand. Yeah. As I say, it's a big weekend for both. Unfortunately, for Group 4, they missed out on a wet weather round or had to push the comp back. If they'd gone back to the original slot, they would have been fine. But yeah, it's just what happens. Look, but it's going to be a ripper.
Well, for the Moree community, it's a good problem to have, isn't it? Where you got two of your teams hosting grand finals on the same weekend. So it'll be a big week up there, and fantastic for the community.
I wonder if they got together and got double tickets. So you buy a ticket, buy one get one free, or something. Yeah,
that's a great idea. Just get people out there. Just encourage people. The Union fans rock up the rugby league and vice versa.
Yeah.
Just come, just everyone just turn up.
Yeah, we'll go through the fixtures for you. There's 5 in the Group 4. Kicks off with Ladies League Tag. North Tamworth taking on Katingal. Then you've got the women's tackle, Gunnedah v Moree. Under 18s boys is Dungowan and Werris Creek. Reserve grade Moree, Dungowan. And then the big one, first grade Moree v Gunnedah. A good mix of teams there.
Yeah. They'll get quite a good crowd too, because there's quite a number of teams there that will get fans rocking up. So it's fantastic. Group 16 grand final though is on Sunday as well at Panbula Sporting Complex, also known as the Pound. And Merimbula Panbula are hosting, obviously. Now, that'll be a big game with not as great a mix, but it's really a testament to some of those clubs that have got teams in multiple grand finals down that way. Starting with Bombala and Bega playing in the league tag to kick off proceedings. Bega are then hosting, not hosting, but playing against Merimbula Panbula in under 18s. Merimbula Panbula are up against Bombala in reserves, and then first grade, 2:45, Merimbula Panbula Bulldogs are up against the Tatra Sea Eagles. So that'll be a massive game.
Yeah, it's funny. You can see my typos in that.
No, I could read them perfectly. I've got my runny nose happening, but I'm coping through. But really, we focus on Merimbula Panbula because they've only lost one game this year. But Tatra, I think they've lost 2 games this year or something. They've had a massive year, so it's going to be a big finish there.
Yeah, and all games on BarTV Sports, Group 16 Grand Finals. So if you can't make it out to the Pound, you can always, watch on BarTV Sports.
Yeah, do it.
And finally, Western Premiership, or the Peter McDonald Premiership Grand Finals at Apex Park this Sunday. We've got Macquarie Dubbo Macquarie v Dubbo Sims in league tag. Dubbo Sims v Bathurst Panthers in the under 18s. Then in reserve grade we have Dubbo Macquarie v Ningen Tigers. Then in women's tackle we've got Mudgee Dragons v Wiradjuri. And then in the first grade, Dubbo Sims v Forbes, kicking off at 3 p.m. It's a big day. I mean, if one of those goes to extra time golden point, Sims v Forbes could be pushed back a bit.
I was going to say, lucky they got lights there. They'll be right. They can whack the lights on if someone can get the key to the door to open the lights on and stuff. But also a bit fair sprinkling, a mix of different clubs there. So they'll have some fans out there. I know I was looking online. I think a lot of the Ningen fans are travelling for the reserves game, which is fantastic. It's great to see. Like, you might not make grand final of first grade, but you're also always going to support your team. Yeah,
Father's Day this Sunday too. And if you, what better Father's Day than to go to the grand finals on Sunday? I know if I had the day off, I'd be heading up to Singleton and watch the Greyhounds v the Colts.
Yes.
It's nothing better than a local league grand final. Yeah.
And actually, look, I don't want to turn this into an infomercial, but if you had a father sitting at home right now, what better a present than a BarTV subscription?
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Like, I reckon if you said to Dad, here's a subscription and here's a list of the games that are on this afternoon, I think it'd be like, well, thank you very much. That's a good present.
Again, I flicked an email to the bosses and heard radio silence.
Yeah.
They get 100. But, BarTV does have a $120 yearly subscription at the moment offer.
Right.
So, what a good present. You're struggling. Go to the BarTV website and check it out. It's $120 for 12 months. It's a bit of a discount to what you're usually paying. So, get on that. If you can't do it for Father's Day, it's already sorted. Christmas is not too far.
Yeah, and it's just insane. Imagine the dad getting it and you're saying, oh, this entitles you to like 1 trillion minutes of rugby league and sport. Like, it must be an insane amount for that money of sport for a dad that loves sitting on the couch watching a bit of footy. It's just like, it's ridiculous how much sport you get for that, including over summer with different sports outside. There are sports outside of rugby league, and there'll be plenty going on as of the next couple of weeks, really, when the summer BarTV season hits.
Yeah. All right, that's it, mate. Where are you going to head off to?
I want to go down south. I really do want to watch that preliminary final for Illawarra.
Yep.
I really see how Dapto fares, but if not, I might bounce around, try to catch something around the traps. If not, really, as often the case, I'll be on my lounge watching BarTV.
Yeah, I'll be at the Newcastle Rugby League semis, but I'll be keeping an eye on the Group 7 semis, particularly Stingrays v Gerringong. I said they led the comp for most of the year, Stingrays, and they could be bundled out week 1.
Yeah, and what a great place to, it's like the Group 16 Grand Finals an option as well. Imagine being down there. I don't think I can get down that far, but you're in Pambula, you're watching a grand final, the weather's warming up, it's just idyllic beaches and all that kind of stuff down there. It's going to be a great weekend of rugby league around the traps.
Yeah. All right, that's another show done and dusted. Thanks for joining us on the CRL show. If you've been listening or watching wherever, just thanks for keeping the dream alive. We will catch you next week.
Cheers.